course, it is Grand Theft Auto Week here on Reviews on the Run. Now, the series actually started in 1997 with the original Grand Theft Auto. They released a follow-up right after that, Grand Theft Auto 2, but it's Grand Theft Auto 3 that really brought the game into the modern era.
Grand Theft Auto 3 was a whole other level. This was not just a needle mover. This is, I think, arguably the needle mover. This is the one that has completely ratified everything in the video game industry.
Look up the term needle mover in the dictionary. It's just a picture of Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, this is one of the amazing things about this game, and that's why we can designate it as a needle mover, is it's one of those games that I was looking at screenshots of this. I was just obsessing over this game, and I didn't really understand how it worked until I got it in my home.
Right, because you couldn't believe that the screenshots, which really is all we had to go on back then, and you think, is this entire city available to me? Can I go everywhere?
Yeah, they're so cinematic. I mean, you were looking at sunrises and sunsets, you were looking at rain falling, and guess what? It's all in the game, and there's all kinds of stuff that I didn't even dream of being in the game. I mean, I still feel like here we are almost 15 years later, and I'm still discovering things to love about this experience.
Well, especially because it was so ahead of its time. I mean, this was an exceptional game. It was loaded with great story bits, with an incredible cast.
Let's teach these would-be tough guys what it means to be a tough guy.
And you just felt rooted. You played this guy named Claude Speed, and you went on his kinds of misadventures. You could pick up hookers if you want. You could follow the traffic laws. You get chased by cops. You work for the mob. You work against the mob. I mean, it's just an incredible, rich, go-anywhere, do-anything experience that had never really been realized before in video games.
You know what I loved about this, though, is it's not so much Claude who has any personality. He's a cipher in this thing. He doesn't say one word, but it's the way that the city is the real character of the game. And it was all of those little mini digressions. It was all of those little sort of heroic tales about yourself, the things that you were realizing about yourself as you're playing this game that really felt like self-expression.
This game was so remarkable and such a groundbreaking, trailblazing piece of interactive entertainment. The minute I had it, the next day I rushed out and bought it for a bunch of the other people that worked at EP.
I bought an extra copy and just put it down my pants.
Did you? Yeah. You still make love to it.
And we saw a lot of Me Too after this. We saw a lot of Grand Theft Auto 3 copycats, and we also saw a lot of them fall flat on their faces because they didn't really realize how special this thing was that Rockstar had created.
It had soul and it had intelligence. It had social.
That's the word.
It had social commentary. It had a winking sass about it. You know, you'd listen to the radio stations and the DJs just go off on all kinds of things in those crazy commercials.
Sometimes they were funny. Sometimes they were boring, just like real-life DJs.
Yeah, and you know, there is a little bit of repetition in there. They didn't have the music budgets and stuff like that the future games would have. This wasn't the juggernaut. This was the Risk.
It was sexy. It was funny. It was smart. Grand Theft Auto 3, it stands the test of time. Victor Lucas, what are you going to score this game?
It's a 15 out of 10. It's definitely
15 out of 10 for me. We can't go that high, though.
It's a 10 for sure.
Double tens.
Absolutely.
There you go.